going on, team? It is Wednesday night, September 27th, and let's get right into it here. Alright, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so, kind of once again, we're still going nowhere here in the indexes. Pretty quiet day in the SPY. Decent volume came in on the 195 today, so the SPY is currently in a squeeze. So that's definitely something to keep in mind and monitor. And take a look over here at the Qs. And a little bounce today, up under just under 1% on some decent volume. So the last 4 or 6 bars here on the 195, we've had some good buying volume coming into the Qs. So I'm interested to see if that strength can continue into the rest of the week and, into the weekend. I'm very interested to see that. We'll run through our typical names real quick. Just take a look at where they stood today. Apple still bouncing off 150 here. We got Google up 2.5% today on big volume in the squeeze. Now, I know I mentioned in the past few days I prefer to enter here in the squeeze. To be completely honest with you, I just didn't see Google today. I was distracted with a lot of other work and focusing on Solar Edge. But, because 960 has been such strong resistance for Google, the past few weeks, I'm going to be patient and, see if I can get this on a breakout tomorrow. Not ideal, but that's how I'm going to play that. Tesla down on the day, about 1% and some change. Amazon with a little bounce today, up just about 1.5% on some decent volume on the 195. However, Amazon is still not in a squeeze, still hasn't really consolidated, so personally, I won't be trading that one for the time being. And Facebook bounced, with the rest of the tech stocks, up a little bit over 2% today. Some good buying volume over here on the 195, but, like Amazon, it's not in a squeeze at the moment. This one's going to need some time to consolidate, form a situation like that before I'm going to revisit for a potential trade. So, this morning, I closed out my trade on YY. Let's take a look here at the 195. So I entered right here yesterday on the 195, and I sold half my position yesterday afternoon towards the close. Right here on the fade of the 195, I closed that for about just about 300 and change. And then today, we opened up pretty strong lead to the downside on some what was good, at the time what was good selling volume. So I closed that second half, and let me see, I might have that actual chart. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can pull that up over here. Alright, well I have the picture, but I can't find it right now. But that turned out to be a good trade, guys. Again, I'll pull that chart up over here. We had a nice squeeze on the 195, in out pretty quick. But let's move on and talk about the story of the day, which was Solar Edge, and this turned out to be a awesome trade today, and one of the best trades as of late. So let's see, blow that up. All right, there's a good view. So Solar Edge, I know some of you guys wanted me to explain this trade, and I'm just going to go over the basic steps of how I identify this opportunity. So the first step is that I identified that Solar Edge was on a nice setup on the daily chart. So everything I do starts with the daily chart. So why did I like this? We have a stock that experienced a lot of selling, finally found a big level of support, and made one leg up and now we are consolidating and trading sideways in a tight squeeze, preparing for what could be the second leg up towards 35 to 40. So that was step one. I identified that I liked the setup in Solar Edge. It's in a nice squeeze. To me, that's what I prefer to trade. Therefore, I predetermined that I want to trade Solar Edge. That was step one. Step two was to monitor the squeeze. This is the 195-minute chart for an increase in volume where preferably I could enter inside the squeeze. And relatively early in today's session, that's exactly what we got. This opening bar on the 195 had some strong volume. I entered right around here before we broke out, and this never looked back. The buying volume came in all day, so that turned out to be just a great trade off the bat because I timed it so well with the demand for the shares. Now, we did get a little bit of a fee here on the closing 195 bar, but it closed up 9.6%. A great day. Personally, I'm currently up. Let me take a look. On this trade, I risked, I think it was 1,300, and I am currently up 1,200. So a profit, so far of almost 100%. And tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for, some of that buying volume, that strength to return. No, I would not be surprised if this one could go on a pretty meaningful run. And the reason being is that, today we kind of started to, or did, clear some long-term resistance. You can see going back over here, call this, let me see, back over in March of 16, so, a long time ago, well over a year ago, a year and a half or so. The stock could just not get over 30. It tried, and then it got pushed down and had, a year of ugliness, and now here we are again. And today looks like this volume was enough to push us, over at least that short-term resistance. And what I'm saying, guys, is that if we can break over, a level that was resistance, we kept getting stopped here before. If we can break out of that, this thing could run up, to 35, 40 until we experience, any kind of meaningful levels of resistance again. So I'm really going to, plan my profit taking on a, minute-to-minute basis. I'm going to read, how we open tomorrow. I'm going to read, the opening 195-minute bar, and I'm going to try to be patient. I don't want to get, suckered out, but I do think there is potential for this, to go on a nice, multi-day, week, 2-week run. That's just a prediction, though. We have to act upon, the price action and what the charts are telling us. But keep in mind that we are breaking some long-term resistance here, so that could end up being fruitful in the end. So again, guys, nothing special here. It just turned out to be a great trade because I stuck to my guns. This is exactly what I look for. A squeeze on the 195. The setup has to start with the daily chart. I then use the 195 to determine my entry, and I look to get inside the squeeze on increased volume before the breakout happens. If you didn't already, check out last night's video. I discussed this entire entry strategy and how you can maximize your profits. So definitely something to check out if you haven't already. And to wrap this up, I'm going to go over a few charts. Come on, what's going on here? This happens sometimes. I try to record and it gets weird on me. Okay, here we go. Alright, Chris, so Clovis, CLVS. I like it, man. This is what I like. Nice tight squeeze on the daily and the 195. Looks like it, we had some pretty good puking here, some good selling, and quickly found some support. So I would definitely monitor that one and, and wait for another expansion inside the 195 like this to go long, preferably before the breakout, and that could be a great trade. So definitely keep your eye on that. DXC, same thing, man. Very nice squeeze here on the 195, and again, I would monitor this, wait for this volume to return. You get an expansion like that, it's tried once, it's tried twice to move up. If you get volume like that on the third time, chances are it's going to move up and break out. So definitely try to get in here somewhere inside the squeeze. Always coincided with that big volume, though. And last but not least, from my homie Chris, Celgene. So Celgene, was in a squeeze here, very short term on the 195, but this is not my ideal squeeze because it kind of, was trailing up higher while in the squeeze rather than trading sideways. So, not absolutely ideal personally, but what I would do is continue to watch this and maybe, over the next week or so, it starts to trade sideways and then tighten up, something like that. And that's absolutely ideal. So, because, bio has been so strong lately and Celgene is a very strong company in that sector, they do very well fundamentally, which you can't say for most biotech stocks. I would definitely continue to keep my eye on that one for a future trade as well. And that's it, guys. I'm exhausted. I had a long day. Exciting day. Gonna keep our eye on SolarEdge tomorrow. TPX once again. And this beauty, VF Corp, VFC. That looks great. That looks ready. That's number one for my list tomorrow. Alright, guys. I need some sleep. I'm out of here.